Hello again, and welcome back to the Let's Play Fellowship VoDCast. In this video, I wanted to kind of start by discussing some of the endgame gearing stuff for, I guess, Ardeos and for just heroes in general in Fellowship, and then do some dungeons. I'm in Eternal League now, been playing a decent bit, haven't been recording much, mostly because I'm not sure if I don't know, the content is entertaining enough to post, maybe. I mean, I don't know. If you guys like the content and would like to see more, then like and subscribe on the videos. But, yeah, in terms of in-game gearing, I guess, having finally hit Eternal, I finally started exploring some of the materials and stuff and how they're working in the game, so I have a better understanding of it now. Worth noting that as of the posting of this video, the game will be implementing some changes to the economy in the upcoming days, so things will be a little bit different in terms of how you spend your resources, but the overall sort of system is kind of the same. So the first thing is these materials, which I've maybe mentioned before that I find confusing and don't really like and stuff like that. They are in some ways more simpler than I would have imagined because they don't sort of intermix with each other that much to do different things. They're just kind of each a different class of materials that is used for a different purpose. So Materia and Magic Essence you just get from doing dungeons, and you also get from scrapping gear once you reach, you know, high enough levels that they drop or that your gear has them. And that's it. You basically just use them as at the blacksmith to upgrade gear. You need Materia, Magic Essence, and Gold. And once you reach Eternal, even if you haven't spent any resources, which I did not, you will likely find that you will be running low on Materia and Magic, like too low on Materia and Magic Essence to immediately upgrade all your gear to the max level, which is fine, so it may take a little bit of time to accumulate, but you will get it eventually. But that's all they're used for, and other than, yeah, scrapping gear and getting them in dungeons, currently I think the only way to get them outside of that is you can use your supplies to buy the blacksmith box, which is currently on a cooldown of once every hour, but I believe that they're removing the cooldown, so you might just be able to spend it all at once if you've built up a decent bit of supplies like I have. Next up, as the sort of class of crafting materials, are these mithrils. The unstable turns any piece of gear into a new item for a different slot. The imbued does the same thing, except you get 3 choices with that slot, and then the arcane will turn an item in a certain slot into a different item in the same slot. Now, the interesting thing about these, I guess, from what I understand, is that, first of all, if you use a mithril on an item that you currently have, it will refund the materials that you had invested into that item, which is kind of important for this sort of late game Eternal League stuff, because it means that I can go ahead and dump all of my Magic Essence and Materia into an item and fully upgrade it, and then if I happen to get an item with better secondary stats for myself, or a socket bonus, or a gem that I didn't have before, or something like that, I can go ahead and just re-roll it into a new item, and it might be unlikely to be something that I will use, but I can get those materials back and then use it to upgrade a different item if I'm running low, which I currently am. So that's good. So yeah, that's kind of how Mithril works. When you first hit Eternal, if you have built up a supply of these because you haven't been using them, and for what it's worth, I would not recommend using any of these materials before you hit Eternal, because I just basically think it's completely unnecessary. But you can either sort of, when you're doing initial dungeon runs, if you get a piece of gear that is in the same item slot, or you get a duplicate item or something like that, and you don't have all your slots filled, then you could use the unstable one to just, you know, speed up your gearing process and get, like, a higher level item in every slot, potentially. I think that's a decent use for them. But once you kind of have your gear slotted and it's, you know, decent, and you're investing gold to upgrade all the pieces and stuff like that, you mostly just want to use these when you do find an upgrade, naturally, I think. And then you use these to recover the resources. And then if you have, you know, if you've been playing long enough that you've accumulated, you know, tons and tons of excess materia and magic essence on your character, even enough for alts and stuff like that, then whatever. You can just use these whenever you want to take a shot at getting a socket. Using the imbued mithrils, and I guess the arcane mithrils in particular, can really speed you up in terms of getting great gear to begin with, because obviously it's kind of hard to find gear with sockets, which is one of the most important things to look for in your gear, because gems are very powerful in this game. It's even harder to find stuff with a socket bonus, which I think people make a little bit too big of a deal of in the game. But, you know, if you're fishing for those items, it really does help to use a mithril to try to find them, and when you get the 3 choices of items to pick, it will show you whether or not it has a socket on it, so that is very useful. One other sort of thing about these, I guess, is that if you use a mithril to turn this, like, 330 hood into a new item, the new item won't be 330. It's going to refund you the materials that you spent to make this 330, but whatever item it rolls into is going to be the base item level of this item. So it's going to go back to being, like, whatever, item level 255 or something. You know, it won't be 330 anymore. So, and also if you roll it into a new item, it won't, like, keep the socket or whatever. It's going to just roll it into a new piece, and the odds that it has a socket will be low. I mean, it can happen, but... So, don't take a piece with a socket and try to roll it into something else to assume that it'll still have a socket, because it most likely won't, you know? So that's the mithrils, pretty much. The ethers are all just basically used for gemming, combining gems, transmuting your gems into different gems. I mean, gems play an important role in the game, so these are important items. And yeah, I mean, not too much to say about them, really. I mean, as you get more powerful gems, you'll be using the arcane ethers more, and different things. They work very similar to the mithrils in terms of, like, I don't know, like the unstable ether can turn a gem of one color into randomly a different color. Or the imbued one can do it, but you get 3 choices of what color it might be. Or the arcane one, you can, you know, pick a color of your gems. And then when it comes to combining them, as the gems get bigger and you're trying to combine into bigger things, it uses, like, the more rare resource. So that's kind of how the ethers work. And then the Godstones, these are all for your weapons. They're all for re-rolling traits. The Legends Godstone re-rolls your, you know, the end traits, like the 2 sort of most powerful traits, maybe. The Hero's Godstone re-rolls your offensive traits, and the Defender's Godstone re-rolls your defensive traits. So to take a look at that, here's my weapon, here's the traits tree. These 2 are your end traits. For Ardeos, currently, I've seen a number of guides saying that Visions of Grandeur is the best, but in looking at logs and seeing what high-level players are actually using, it seems like more of them are using something called Amethyst Splinters instead. So my thought is that those 2 abilities are probably something like 1-2. They're pretty close. I re-rolled this item into a Visions of Grandeur. I could keep re-rolling to try to get Amethyst Splinters, but if I get unlucky with my rolls and don't get either of them, that would be a worse situation that I currently have. So for now, I'm just sticking with the Visions. Maybe eventually, if I build up some more resources, I will mess around with it some more. Your offensive stats are these blue ones, or not stats, but traits. They're these blue ones. Number of different abilities. For Ardeos, it seems like everyone seems to think that the clear best one is this Inspired Allegiance, I think. Reduces the cooldown of your weapon ability, or your abilities have a chance to reduce it, and then also it gets you and your party members haste, which haste is one of the best stats for Ardeos, and you're buffing your party, so very strong. And then Kindling is maybe the second best option. There's a couple of options that are maybe close for being second best. So I re-rolled these traits, happened to get these 2 that line up in a way that go to my Visions of Grandeur, so that's kind of lucky. You use the, whatever it is, Hero's Godstone. Yes, Hero's Godstone to reroll those. And then your defensive traits, you've got 6 of them. And I think the best ones for Ardeos are like King of the Hill is, I think, regarded as potentially one of the best. It just, you know, reduces the damage you take by a pretty good percentage when you're above 80% health, which hopefully you're starting every pull at 80% health, and you probably get healed up during pulls, so should be active a lot. And then after that, there's a lot of other sort of good ones. I saw some people using this one, Latent Resurgence, which seems pretty good. When you're healed, you can get a stack of this up to a maximum of 10 stacks, and then when my health dips below 50%, all the stacks of it are consumed, and I'm instantly healed. So that's kind of a nice damage prevention thing. So you can look into whatever your best defensive stats might be and re-roll them and try to get them to line up with whatever you're going with. And that's that. And then you can empower your traits over here on the Empower tab. It just costs gold to do. My understanding is that, yeah, I mean, obviously leveling these up is good, but it's sort of better to spend your gold on your gear if you're not sort of max item level yet. So maybe save it for later, but do whatever you want. And yeah, upgrade those when you get a chance. They all seem like they cost the same thing to upgrade. If you want to upgrade it to the max level, it's 6,000 gold. And even the big trait up here, 6,000 gold. So yeah. One other thing about gearing in Eternal, which I didn't know prior to getting into it, and which has surprised me a little bit, is just that when you first hit Eternal, and you're doing any of the non-capstone dungeons, the gear that drops for you is item level 255. And then the capstone dungeons drop item level 270 pieces. And I would have thought that as you progress through Eternal, that the gear would start dropping, you know, up to, like, basically max item level, 6 of 6. But it doesn't appear that that's the case. It looks like no matter how high you go in Eternal, whatever drops is always going to be a 255 or a 270 piece if it's a capstone. So what this means essentially is just that you sort of can't go in and just immediately, you know, get like 330 gear easily in some sense. You always are going to have to spend the golden materials to upgrade it if you want to do it. So not what I was expecting, but it's fine. It also, I mean, I guess it depends on what your best pieces are that you're looking for, but it does mean, I guess, that when you first get to Eternal, it might be somewhat more efficient to do the capstones and get two 270 pieces, since you requires a little bit less investment to get those to max level, since they don't start at 255. And then additionally, if you re-roll these pieces, they'll re-roll into something that's 270 instead of 255, which is nice. So, yep, there it is. So that's kind of the gearing stuff for people who are interested. Like I said, I mean, basically, you know, I wish maybe that it was a bit different, but it is what it is. I mean, I think that the real point of the endgame gearing in this game, I think, is basically just to try to get sockets in all of your pieces, other than your weapon and relics, which can't have sockets, from what I understand. So you'll be trying to get a socket in every piece, and that's kind of your goal. And then beyond getting the socket, well, your next goal is going to be sort of farming, I guess, or using your resources to then get max gems in all of your stuff, which takes a while. I mean, I don't even have any of the largest gem, because it takes 3 small gems to make 1 large one, and then 3 large ones to make 1 splendid one, and then 3 splendid ones to make 1 flawless one. So I don't even know how many gems in that. It's a lot of gems. I mean, it would take 9 gems to make 1 splendid? Is that right? 3 of these makes 1 of these, and then I need 3 of these again. So, like, 9 gems makes 1 splendid, and then you'd need 3 splendid to make 1 flawless. So you're talking about you maybe need to farm, like, 27 of these. I guess I currently have farmed, like, 7, I guess? So 20 more, and they don't drop that often. And a lot of these that you get are also from getting, you know, as rewards, you've gotten small gem pouches a number of times through the rewards tree, which contain like 4 gems that just drop. And once you're done with those, you don't get those anymore. So yeah, it takes a long time, I think, to get all of those gems. And with the transmutation and stuff like that, you can take the ones that you don't want and turn it into the colors that you do. But so yeah, in terms of gear, you're looking for sockets, and then in terms of farming, you're just going to get gems by doing dungeons, and then the goal after that is basically just to get not only pieces that drop with a socket, but pieces that drop with a essence bonus. As you can see here on my legendary, the legendary I think always has an essence bonus. This is plus 100%. If I go into my bank, I think I can show you an item that I had that dropped in Paragon. This chest piece over here, it says empty gem socket, and it has an essence bonus of 35% that just came on it. So very rare to get that. I mean, I think I've only seen 1 item with it in all of the pieces of gear that I've dropped. And yeah, pretty valuable, particularly when you put a large gem in there or whatever. So that's kind of the after bonus, but I mean, I kind of think that you, in some ways, need to look at it as kind of like the tertiary stats in, like, World of Warcraft. I mean, it might be a bit more powerful than that, but extremely, extremely rare drop chance, I think. And so it's really only something that you're going to get on all of your pieces if you're playing the game a ton. And even then, you might play a ton and never still hit all of them in the season, maybe. You know, I don't know. I mean, it just seems like it would take a while. So I kind of just consider that more of a, it's cool if you get some, but I don't think that that should necessarily be anyone's goal to do, nor do I think it's necessary to reach, you know, I mean, unless you're doing, unless you're one of the few people that's doing, like, Eternal Hundreds or something like that, then I don't think it's going to probably be the difference between why you can or can't time whatever content you're on. So I wouldn't look at it that way. In terms of what I've been doing in Eternal, my dungeon rating and stuff like that, you can see, just been queuing in solo. I guess I have some timed 10s. I'd like to be doing 10s and above. I guess I'd like to get this spider mount and stuff. But, you know, it's kind of hard to queue into things. I mean, I only have, like, Sands 4. Seems like no one ever wants to do Sands. Godfall 6. Capstones I've done at some different levels. 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, you know, just kind of all over the place, just running whatever dungeons people want to do, and hoping for the best. So that's that. And yeah, new economy changes coming very shortly, and I think a holiday event coming very shortly. Fun times. All right, and then to show you how Eternal's working here, I started in sort of 2 lower tiers, but now I guess I'm up to tier 3, which is Eternal difficulties 10 to 14, and you can, I guess, have it pick here. It's a search for parties that are trying to do stuff in this specific tier. So yes, I would only like to do tier 3 stuff right now, and I will try to find a party. In terms of farming, I guess you might have an easier time just doing lower Eternals, breezing through them, getting them done faster, always completing, hopefully, not having headaches. But it's not really why I like to play. I like to try to do the hardest content, and by doing the harder content, you start to learn harder pulls, and you start to learn at what point abilities start one-shotting you and having to change your play around that. I mean, doing dungeons that are just getting destroyed and easily melted is just not something that I find fun. I like to just do dungeons that hopefully challenge me to push my rating and stuff like that, and then I figure that, you know, farming will just occur over time, you know, so there it is. And then when the queue pops up, someone is like in charge of the queue and they pick what they want to do. I'm not sure if I hover something like this, if that's informing them of what I would like to do or not. But they then eventually pick the dungeon. And sometimes you will be chosen as the quote-unquote leader of the group and you will pick a dungeon. And I'm not sure what happened here, just because, I don't know, it just says everyone left the group, so that's fine. Sometimes that happens and, like, the queue will still be up here going and finding the next group, but maybe not always, so... Yeah, that's kind of how Eternal's working, and then, yeah, I mean, I think that it looks to me maybe similar to some other games and stuff, but generally speaking, it seems to me like kind of the vast majority of the player community in Fellowship is like, I don't know, people seem a little bit too, like, pessimistic about their abilities to do content based on their gear. Like, I mean, you know, I don't know, maybe people think, like, Eternal 10 or 11 or whatever it is like, high, like, wow, that's high or something, but, I don't think it's really very high, and, you know, my item level is, quote-unquote, only 300, you know, like, there might be some people that think, well, hey, if you're trying to do Eternals above, I don't know, Eternal 5 or something, then that, you know, some people seem like they might be under the impression that you need, like, item level 330 gear and all your gems farmed and all this stuff, and, like, you know, I don't think that's the case at all. I mean, whatever your gear level is, in my opinion, just try to do the highest and hardest dungeon that you possibly can. It's more fun, in my opinion. And, you know, gear is kind of a crutch in some sense. Like, at some point in your gearing, I mean, there's basically two breakpoints in the game, right? One breakpoint is the point where no human being, even with max level gear, no combination of 4 human beings with max level gear and everything farmed and everything, is able to do a certain dungeon in time due to, I don't know, some ability that does too much damage, or not, you know, not having enough DPS to do it in the timer, or whatever it is. So, like, that's one breakpoint, and then everything below that is literally just, the other breakpoint is just, well, you're not good enough in some sense. You're not doing perfect rotation and using all of your abilities in the proper order to complete things in the best way. Whatever route you're choosing is not good enough to get it done at whatever level you're trying. Your pulls aren't big enough, you know, whatever it is. Like, everything else is kind of a skill failing, you know? So, generally speaking, when I play a game like Fellowship, I try not to look too much at my gear. I kind of look at it as sort of a secondary thing. I try to focus on my play, and until I reach the point where something feels very challenging, and it's definitely easier to do with a set group if you play with like-minded individuals, but it's hard to take things sort of too seriously. I would say that so far in my Fellowship journey so far, my play has been pretty sloppy, mostly just because, I don't know, I mean, I haven't yet done a dungeon where I felt like I couldn't probably be extremely sloppy and still time the dungeon. You know? I mean, with a decent group where people are performing at a reasonable level, like even in those groups, it's like, I don't know, it feels like there's time to wipe maybe once or twice. Have like a full wipe and still time it. So if there's that much extra time in the dungeon, I mean, I don't know. Does it matter if I misclick a few buttons? Does it matter if I cast my spells in slightly the wrong order? The answer is no, not really, because there's like all the time in the world left. So that's kind of how I look at it, I guess. One other quick thing about gearing, I guess, for those who are interested, is just that when you first hit Eternal, one potentially good use of your items that makes a lot of sense, I think, is just that, you know, the second a weapon drops, you can go ahead and use an arcane, or an arcane mithril to give yourself, whatever, 3 chances to get your bis weapon, which is... I'm not sure if that's like 100% chance then for every class, or how many weapons there are. I don't think there's that many, right? But yeah, you'll have a really good chance to find that very quickly. And then kind of the same thing with trinkets too. If you get a trinket to drop and your first trinket is something like the chicken and you don't want to use that and you want a Sin Binding Stone, you want a Sin Binding Stone and some other trinket that you prefer, then when you use your Arcane Mithril on it, I mean, you're very likely to find one of the two that you want, right? So, in my case, this is exactly what I did. I had a weapon drop. I went ahead and re-rolled that weapon. Immediately saw my bis weapon out of the 3 choices, picked it. Then when I got a trinket that I didn't want, I figured I wanted either a Salt Wash Elixir or a Sin Binding Stone. I rolled that trinket into one of those. The Salt Wash Elixir came up as an option. And then when I got another trinket, I was like, I don't want this one either. Like, if it was an Ancient Wardstone, I probably wouldn't have re-rolled it, but it was something else. It was like maybe one of these Orb of Shadows or something. And I was like, okay, I'm going to re-roll this again and try to find either Sin Binding Stone or Ancient Wardstone. And Sin Binding Stone came up for me, which is what I wanted, so that's kind of lucky, but... yeah, I got the 2 trinkets that I wanted to start with, and then because I know that I'm going to use these items for sure, and I wasn't sure how mithrils work, I went ahead and just maxed them out. If the mithrils work the way I'm saying, which I've seen a number of people seem to confirm, I haven't tried it yet, but if you use your mithril to reroll a piece and you get your materials back, then... I think I would recommend maybe not maxing your items, just because for every item level that you take it up, it seems like it's requiring a lot more materia, magic essence, and gold to get those last levels, so doing a more even distribution and kind of leveling all of your gear up a little bit might be better than going all in on the pieces that you want if you have enough mithrils to get stuff refunded over time. But I think either way works pretty well. Yeah, happy to do any of these. Whatever this group might want. And then, yeah, I guess you guys can't see it, but yeah, sometimes people chat and ask about what people want to do, and kind of just like, I'm cool with whatever. Okay, Wraithtide Vault 11. Fine to do, but I will say that for the purposes of making a video and doing an Eternal 11, this might be one of the more difficult ones. One of the ones that I'm less confident that I'll play well, because I've done this an extremely limited amount of time still, compared to all of the... I've done all the capstones an extremely limited amount of times compared to the non-capstone dungeons, which is probably the case for everyone, but certainly is the case when you first get to Eternal, so. And I haven't done it on a difficulty this high yet either, so.
Twin souls.
We will see how it goes. Not really sure what's in this pull. Okay, there's a witch. Okay, there's this cleaver. Okay, that's done. Oh, there's a cannoneer? Or no, a buccaneer. Okay. Kind of slow sometimes in getting DPS out because... okay, I'm sin binding stoning. Salt washing. I'm gonna apocalypse, I guess? I mean... yeah. I don't like this pull at all, mostly because I don't know what's in it. Just doing like no damage. Probably would have done better here just throwing damage and praying, considering that nothing has really happened other than like me standing in acid, but yeah. I guess it's fine. Okay. I certainly like to, when I do a pull, have control over what I need to interrupt, what I need to fire flash, what abilities I need to dodge, whether anything cleaves or not, and all that sort of thing. And when there's like a billion mobs really fast there, I'm not familiar with what the situation is. Oh, I missed that. Get that. But I'm not familiar with what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I can struggle and be slow because I'm kind of trying to look around and tab around and see what needs to be done before something bad happens that we just die to, which will happen increasingly in some of these dungeons, I guess. Okay. Okay, these are cleavers, the brutes. So yeah. I think here I can throw fireball, this. Alright, this came up. Do this. Pop a couple detonates. I guess I'll ult because it's up. I want to use it. Just got my weapon back, I guess. Okay, these are almost sort of dead. These somehow got pulled. Okay, I don't really know what's going on. Throw a fireball over there. Okay, throw a fireball back there. Now I guess I'll use my weapon cooldown, I guess, to get some stuff back. Great, do that. Put a frogs up. I guess I'll put engulfing flames on this witch. I guess this guy should have a dot on it. Sure. Okay, well, I did a lot of damage, and I'm sure could have done a lot more had, you know, the pull not been split up like that. I don't know if I managed all the cooldowns and stuff correctly there. Probably not, but, yeah.
Flames shield me.
And, I mean, I just used ult, and we're about to go to the boss, so I don't really think I want to finish this guy with ult unless I need to be doing that? I don't think I need to be doing that. I think it's gonna die just fine. I probably shouldn't have used my Pyromania there. This boss does have ads, so... I guess I was also thinking that I don't have frogs up, but nowadays I just kind of spawn frogs with my Pyrophibian Frenzy, so I don't need to worry about that so much. I guess I can Apocalypse here. Oh wow, those just melted, huh? Now I don't have Engulfing Flames up, so that's a bit of an annoyance.
This is gonna hurt.
Probably not really the best time for me to ult. I mean, you can DPS under the water, but I do think it's pretty annoying or whatever. Okay. Try to be very careful around this guy, because his cleave or range or whatever it is just so insane, and just like one-shots you out of nowhere, so I try to stay as far away from that thing as possible.
Twin souls, untethered.
Can't see anything as far as what's in this pack, really, again, but, I guess I don't see anything casting at the moment, so I guess it's fine. Maybe there's just nothing good in it. Okay. Larion's cleaning up, which...
Twin souls, unbound.
Again, I definitely haven't done this place too many times.
What's this?
Guess I can pad on this pack with my ult. Might have been good to do. I guess it lived through the full ult, so... Okay, I guess we're skipping those orbs because we've already pulled more trash, probably because I pulled something, honestly, but I don't know for sure. I will say that I don't feel like I'm getting Well, I don't know. I guess I'm fine. When I start taking that damage from the acid, I feel like my health kind of dips pretty low for a while. So, got kind of nervous and just used my pod there. Oh, someone... I guess if you fall on this bridge, maybe you can't get out that easy? Oh, that's annoying.
Twin souls, untethered.
Alright, I guess I shouldn't wait for this prism for too long. Little dot reapplying to the ones that I think might have enough health for that to matter. Probably not even the case that they do, but I don't know. And we've got ult. Wow. And I guess since my ult's gonna come right back up, I guess I have to pop it here, but I don't want to. Would wish that the timing here was a little bit different so that I could, like, do the boss, then maybe get an emissary, and then ult or something, but whatever.
Stone anchors me, and wind delivers my wrath.
Gaze of
I guess I can ult now. I've got a frogs on it from my Pyrophibian Frenzy proc or whatever, so that's pretty good.
flames protect.
Ooh, I guess I can use my Chrono Shift here for the damage mitigation and to get my stuff back, so that's nice. I guess I'm not sure how we get to the last boss from here without doing more trash, because we're done with trash, like, right? I don't know if there's a way or if... Oh, wait, no, we're not. Oh, okay, I guess in the capstones... I guess I haven't had this curse in the capstones. Well, that makes sense then. I guess in the capstones it must be the case that, yeah, each one of those is only worth 33% mob count instead of 100. Makes sense. Or maybe not even. How many have we done? I think we've only done 2. That guy. So yeah, if it's 2, then it's 33%, which I think makes sense, like 1 per boss, probably. But in a normal dungeon, there's only 1 boss, and you get, you have to spawn 2 of them, so... Alright, there is a cleaver in here somewhere. Alright, this cannoneer I want to get on. Let's kind of the danger here, I would say. Okay. Yeah, I do think this is a good pack to ult, even though this stuff is a little bit, already taken a lot of damage.
Flame Ward shields me.
And another cannoneer here, so yeah. Try to take on that Shackle Blast. Bombs away is actually kind of an annoying ability too. Just goes on for so long, in my opinion. No apocalypse for this pull. Sad.
Twin souls, unfettered.
Big Shackle Blast.
Flames, shield me.
Stop the bombs away. Oh, okay, this pack wasn't as big as I thought. That's fine. I guess there's still a brute in it. No, it's melting. I guess this Alarion must have, like, used whatever Alarion ult does or something. Did a lot of damage there. Assume these. Couple bilge rats. And then, yeah, these summon, like, I hate to use frogs on 2 mobs, but... when they channel their, like, Wyrmheart thing, they summon a couple of other rats who run in, and if they hit you, they explode. So I'm not sure what the strategy for dealing with that is, other than interrupting it, and if you always get a rat or 2 or not, but... I think that time it looked like the, care for the orbs, don't pick any. Okay, I guess we must be close to,
Time for a little razzle-dazzle.
The guy just said don't pick any. Someone picked 1, that's fine. Maybe this path would have been the better pack to ult, but... Alright, Cannoneer in here. Get on that. Okay, well, someone just... stop the Shackle Blast with the knockback. That's cool. Try and stop the bombs away there, because I find it annoying. Get another Shackle Blast. Oh, shoot. Did I do something dumb? Alright, well.
The wind rises.
I don't know if that was me or someone else. Might have been me. I Sinstoned here, so hopefully that helps us out. And... yeah. I'll get another ult on the boss. For sure. Okay, they want to do the left ad first on the boss, I guess.
From still earth, the wind
So...
rises.
What's this?
I stopped the bombs away. What did everyone die to? They said the ad died, their computer froze, and that was that. Well, that's unfortunate. That is pretty unfortunate because I had ult for that pull at the start, which on that boss is probably where you want it, because that first part there with the 2 ads is, I think, by far the most difficult. Still have gobs and gobs of time here, but we could fail to time it if we wipe again. If we get far in the fight and wipe, then we whatever, and we'll also get less score for this now, but yeah.
Untethered.
What? Why does this not... Oh, did my Pyromania not go off? Maybe I didn't have Pyromania? I don't know. I thought I Pyromania'd. Well, if I didn't, that's pretty bad. And yeah, that kind of threw me off for the whole fight, because... it's just like, what's going on? But yeah, I mean, once those ads are dead, I don't feel like there's that much to worry about here. Maybe the bullet barrage in particular becomes like really hard on. Well, I'm sure it does become extremely hard on the very high difficulties, but. The way I've died to this boss, the most for sure is basically just well, if your group lets one of those first 2 ads get off a shackle blast, that's a really good way to die. But other than that, it's like forgetting that after the boss teleports you, that she does a whirlwind, and just like dying to the whirlwind.
Time for a little razzle dazzle.
Good ult there, I think. Okay, so she sends someone back. I'm not sure who it's best that they send back, or that she sends back. I know that she can pick the healer, which maybe that's more difficult, particularly on high difficulties, but here it just means that she gets to live a little longer, I guess. Might as well go ahead and use Sinstone, because I don't think this fight's going to last very much longer, and if it somehow saves us from some crazy wipe, that would be good, and yeah. So yeah, 270 items, 2 of them for doing these, and yeah, here's the Materia and Magic Essence. That's a lot of Materia and Magic Essence. I guess it's because it's a capstone. And an Unstable Mithril, those things have a chance to drop here too, so that's cool. And then, did it already show my dungeon score? Ah yes, we gained 60 dungeon score. Cool. So yeah, I think there's a ton of time, particularly in these capstones, it feels like, if you have a decent route. 449 left, and that was like with a wipe at the end. I mean, we could have beat this with a lot less time left. So yeah, fun. Don't really have much of a use for the weapon, and the sandals are, like, they don't have a socket, so... means they're kind of worthless to me. And then at least nowadays what I'm doing, I guess, is just, I'm not 100% sure how some of this... I mean, I'm pretty sure, like I said, you get refunded for your gear if you upgrade it or whatever. So when I have the materials to do it, which I just got at 20 of 20 Magic Essence, I go ahead and upgrade these other items I have that have a gem socket in them and kind of keep them even with each other, just to whatever. Slowly build up some item level. Looks like we're gonna maybe run another one. Sounds good to me. That run was, you know, pretty smooth, and everyone seemed cool to play with, so... How did we do in the overall there? I mean, it looks like we kind of got killed a little for a number of reasons. Can never tell for sure, but I mean, my item level's significantly higher, and whatnot. Well, not that much higher, but yeah. Possible they could have invested more in weapon or have more gems or something like that, but I do get the sense that I think Alarion, like, I think that to do really well with Ardeos, you know, it's important that pulls be of a certain size and gathered in a certain way for you. And also, yeah, when I'm less familiar with the place, like, a huge part of it is getting your ult off in the right spots and using your cooldowns properly, and the less experience you have with the place, particularly on increasing difficulty,
Untethered.
the less chance there is that I think happens. So yeah. Trying to gather this damage buff while I spam detonates, detonating. Yeah. Fireball fell off. I'll do another fireball. I guess that should be the last one. Oh wow, this thing still has health somehow? That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, it looked like my damage buff or whatever it is just fell off a little, but I guess that's okay. Actually don't know how big of a damage buff it is, but I feel like people don't pick them up a lot, and sometimes when I just have a ton of them, like, I don't feel like I notice much of a difference, really, so I feel like maybe they're not even, like, good. But I don't know for sure, so... I pick them up because I assume that they're a benefit, but if it's, like, a really small buff that it gives you, it might not be. Oh, did I forget to or not have my, Apocalypse here? Looks like that might have been the case. Well, that's gonna kill my damage.
Twin souls, unbound.
It is funny that, the other day I did, oh boy, okay, well, that's... whatever. I don't even know what just got pulled. It might have been almost nothing, but yeah. Alright, I don't even know if I've seen this. I guess, I don't know, using my ult resets my weapon, but then my weapon gets me more ult charge. God knows. I was trying to say that the other day I was playing with another Ardeos in a group, and we were rolling through some dungeons. So it was double Ardeos in the group, right? And we did this one. And if you've watched some of my videos, you might know that I'm always bitching about how, like, Ardeos' damage and, like, what you can do on... like mobs with low health and stuff like that is sort of very limited and annoying in a way. And just on the pulls in here when like all these spiderlings spawn, which they recently made a change to the game that like increases the health of the small health mobs.
And wind delivers my wrath.
Which, I don't even really know if it changed the situation too much, to be honest with you.
It's gonna hurt.
But, like, as Ardeos, I mean, for like, a bunch, like, a little swarm of, like, little guys,
Twin souls, untethered.
you kind of don't have anything that does too much. I mean, you're,
Protect me.
you need your Fireball to kind of do damage if you don't have your Apocalypse, like, in an AoE sort of a fashion. And so we would both just, like, kind of be sitting there, just neither one of us with Fireball up, or having Apocalypse, or of course wanting to use Apocalypse on like the trash mobs at the end of a pull, and the spiderlings would just live for like forever. It was crazy. They took away so much time because we just don't have any. I mean, Fireball has a CD, like you don't always have it necessarily, and when you do. Even when you do, it doesn't do that much damage, first of all. And then, where is this horror? Oh my gosh. I really messed this pull up bad. That's okay. I'll just ult.
Little razzle dazzle. Flame Lord.
Personal this. I should really be helping with, like, kicking Poisonado and stuff here, but... I don't know. But yeah, it was just kind of funny. And it was nice to see sort of that, you know, someone else experiences the pain of I don't know, playing Ardeos and kind of like how the damage works. Like Ardeos is kind of extremely useless if you do kind of a split pull and you don't pull it all at once, because like after you throw your fireball or fireballs and your apocalypse and stuff, like your character really does nothing for a while, you know, until stuff comes back up. So that's always bad and never fun. I guess I shouldn't have used Sinsta, and we've got a healing CD up. But I don't know, better safe than sorry, maybe. Personal now. But yeah, in those circumstances you don't do much, and then I also think that like our single target burst is extremely miserable. So I don't know, I mean, you can definitely do well as Ardeos if pulls are done in a certain way, if you're you know. What are we doing here? I don't know what they're trying to do.
My lord shields me.
Are they trying to take it into the boss for some reason? Just confused. I mean,
It's gonna hurt.
I don't know. Oh, can you jump Shadowlord down at the boss? They were maybe testing it? Yeah. I was just gonna say that, I don't really think we're having an issue with time. I think we've got time, unless we wipe or something. Guess I wish I sort of had ult for this, but... it's fine. Oh my gosh, I'm so
Please
stupid.
protect me.
Just not paying attention. That's bad, but... I hate the weapon. I hate Ardeos' weapon, I think. I know I hate it. I mean, it's just, that's the other thing. It's like, I mean, it's good, maybe it's the best weapon, but... you do kind of have to play it perfect, and there's all kinds of curses, and boss mechanics, and mob mechanics, and getting targeted with random stuff that can just mess you up, and you have to cancel. You can even just misclick cancel your chrono shift, and then what does your ult do? Nothing. So... yeah. Not really a big fan.
For annihilation. Watch this.
Yeah, 128 left. Weird, these little dots are still on the ground. Get a Bloodrite Drums Relic. Already have that one. I'm pretty sure. Don't really know under what circumstance I would use it. How do we do overall there? I hope a little bit better. Although I think that dungeon is bad for Ardeos versus Alarion. Largely because of those little spiderlings. I just think you get wrecked on those in terms of damage. Yeah. Not that I couldn't play better or make it look better on the meters if I really tried, but oh well. Oh yeah, what did I get? The drums? I think I have the drums, maybe I don't. If I don't, I'll keep them. I am trying to scrap stuff I don't need so I can upgrade stuff, which I've got. I mean, I don't think any of this stuff that I've got is... I mean, unless it has a socket or something, it's not super irreplaceable, but, you know, I'm kind of like, well, I'll hold on to 2 Orb of Shadows, because what if somehow, I mean, I think it's extremely unlikely, but what if somehow I'm in some group and they demand that I get a 270 or a 330 chicken or something? Well, then I could re-roll it immediately, probably, into that, and have it, if I really needed it. But I think the odds of that happening before I just have one drop are next to nothing, considering I'm playing solo queue. But yeah. Alright, heading to Wyrmheart, I guess. Wyrmheart 13. Fantastic. I feel like this place, when like well tanked, and tanked in my opinion somewhat correctly, is very easy and a pleasure to do, but when things go wrong, it is awfully annoying. Is that just an orb? Like, just on me, or what? I mean, I don't know. It's kind of what I'm talking, like, yeah, I kind of don't pay attention, because it's just like... Maybe it wasn't even that somehow, but... I'm just like, okay. I mean, like, I don't want the orb under me. It's, like, kind of the worst place. It's a very bad place for it to be. I feel like it should be under a healer. Almost for sure. So... I mean, I'll do it if that's what it takes to time the dungeon or whatever, but it's like a huge damage loss for me. Oh, now I'm stunned. Yep. That affix is not a good combination. I guess I need to stay further away from that. So this dungeon is off to a disastrous start, really, and I mean, well, not disastrous, I guess we didn't lose anything, but, well, we lost plenty, but we didn't lose all the damage on the pull, we didn't full wipe. And the timer here is, I think, pretty forgiving, so I think we'll be fine. Still complete it. Now I'm pulling aggro.
This looks fun.
Gotta say, nothing in this world almost feels worse than, hitting those orbs, in my opinion.
Burn, baby, burn!
Definitely just gonna ult on this pack when it's up. Any pack with a Scholar, I'm just happy to just ult and kill it. Definitely with this binding affix, I mean, you definitely can just die to the orb. So I mean, I'm sure I'll forget it, maybe even later in this dungeon, but yeah, when you've got binding ice or anything that can stun you around, you need to keep even more distance between those orbs to make sure that if you get stunned, it's not so close to you that it's just gonna immediately kill you. And your group. The other thing about this place, I guess, is like I feel like I keep forgetting that that's the curse that's on me and not the guy who leaping on me, because the graphic to me looks a little bit similar and I kind of just react and just...
From still earth, the wind rises.
Time for a little
I really
razzle
should have,
dazzle.
you know, tried to run the curse into the mobs, you know?
Darkness protects me.
This looks fun.
And wind delivers my wrath.
Okay, there's a Scholar in this pull. These pulls seem so brutally bad. There's an orb right by the tank. Which I can do about it. Right. Looks like somehow on this difficulty, like, the tank and healer have, like, enough HP to live, so... It's kind of been what's been saving our ass, I guess. Alright, so... Y'all are dead. My damage in this place must be absolutely horrible. I mean, I'm just dying all the time and just... Yeah, we might not time it. Might be close, I guess.
This looks fun.
Only doing these 3 here. Okay, I guess.
The feast begins!
Ult still didn't even kill the other one. These things have so much health. They're ulted. Worth it anyway, because you can get a free one off this guy.
Fire shield.
I don't know why we're hiding it. I don't feel like that's saving us much time. It's probably doing the exact opposite, because now I just can't do DPS, and it's very annoying. But fine. Got 313 and an ult, and I guess I think here someone called out that they're doing mists, so that's fine. Guess I think here I should chrono shift first, because I get my weapon back.
Burn, baby, burn.
Then I can ult here. Sure. Get my weapon back again. Now I have my kick up. Kick it. Maybe I should wait on the kick a little. Sure. Guess I can chrono shift.
Dance, mortals. Be gone. This changes nothing.
Go ahead and Sinstone. Fight's almost over. Kick that.
Be gone.
And 119 left. Cool. It's a 255 hood with a socket, so we'll be holding on to that. I think I already have a hood with a socket, but not sure about the secondaries on that. And get a gem. Gems are nice. We like those. Do like those. So what happened overall there? Okay, I guess I won overall. I mean, yeah, this sloppy run. I mean, the mechanic was a little bit tricky there with the orbs, and like I said, like if I'm in a group, if I get in with a group where I don't know, I don't really like to do the orbs on the scholars for a lot of reasons. I think the healer is maybe supposed to do it, quote unquote, supposed to do it. So if I'm in a group where the healer like kites them out and is good at it, and I can just do my damage and stuff like that, I feel like the run goes well. On runs where there's confusion or that people are not maybe aware that someone probably should be trying to bait all the orbs and controlling them on those pulls, that's when a lot of deaths and wipes and stuff like that happen, because I'm not prepared for the fact that one might spawn under me because the person repositioned like closer or something. So yeah, at least that's what I feel. That's one of the times when I feel like that place goes kind of rough. And yeah, now I guess we're running it straight into a Ransack of Drakheim 12. Ransack of Drakheim. So this is the dungeon I've done the least in the game. Very uncomfortable with. It's a 12. Okay. Arsonist. And yeah. Okay, I need to stop my channel and kick that Uga. Otherwise, we might all die. I need to. Oh, need to. Oh, maybe that would have been covered then, but how am I supposed to know? And yeah, this was all kind of pulled separately. Scattery, pell-mell, other words that are describe frustration, but it's fine. There's an Uga, there's an Uga. I don't know. Casting so many times, partially because I just haven't been able to set up like a great rotation because it's all just all over the place, and yeah. I should probably strive to, I mean, I do my best to pay attention and stuff, of course, but I should probably try to complain less and try to thrive a bit more in some of these more chaotic situations, or chaotic seeming situations. But yeah, groups doing their part, got through it, so very happy. A lot of arsonists in there. Well-placed kicks and knockbacks by some people there. Stopped a lot of stuff. I contributed some, but I don't think up to the level that it should have been at for me, so. Okay, now we're adding more, so I guess I'll Apocalypse. And, I don't know, is there anything relevant in here? Maybe. Sure, I don't know. There's like a mini boss over there or something, but it just doesn't matter. Vault up. Should probably just use it. Alright, so this mini boss is the one where I need to keep moving. I feel like I don't play this guy well at all yet, really. Ice Tomb, someone needs to break me out of that.
Winter, shield me.
Okay, I'm moving out.
My ward shields me.
Okay.
Twin souls, unfettered. Iron Rush. Endures as winds enact vengeance.
Yeah. I got sucked up right as I as I fireball. I mean, guess it's not worth ulting anymore. I don't know.
Witness my wrath.
I think this guy's like empowered or something, but I don't know what it means. So, I don't know. Did we do both mini bosses? Maybe we did. I don't remember.
Watch this!
Can I ult this guy from here? I don't even know that I can. May have just wasted ult. No idea. I also moved a lot, which is you don't want to move on this guy. It stacks. Take a bunch of damage when you move. Oh no, I guess he's whatever. So yeah, I am. I'll try and give my thoughts on what's going on here after the fight, I think. But...
My ward shields me.
I didn't. Whatever, it's not even worth it to use frogs there. But yeah, I kind of wanted to, oh, man. Oh, that's okay. We were having a good run, but then someone had a personal thing come up and had to leave the group, so understand that. You know, a little bit frustrating when it happens, but certainly it is just a video game, and there are more important things that come up in life sometimes. So sometimes people just have to leave a run, and when that happens, you know, it's not a big deal. Too bad, because I'm sure we probably would have done pretty well in that place. It was looking good, but looking decent to me. And I did want to do it too, but yeah. Yeah, on the last boss there, I guess I'm not 100% sure how it works, but there was a couple things I wanted to show off that I learned about the boss that I didn't know before for you guys that might not know. One is just that on that guy, when he does the ice tomb, so the actual boss, who he's both fire and ice, and he switches between the fire and the ice form. When he does the ice tomb, if you time it correctly, you want the ice tomb, when it's on you, to like land in the fire that he makes. The fire puddle's on the ground, and if you do that, then the fire puddle will basically just kill the ice tomb that you're in, and then the rest of the group doesn't have to waste a ton of damage breaking you out. How you do it, I'm not an expert on, but I have done it once, and I think that the way it works is that you'll have the boss targeted, and then when the boss casts his ability, the ice tomb, you want to look at who it's targeting and be near the fire to start with, probably, and then you have to see, like, if it's targeting you, then you want to, I don't know if you actually have to take a tick of damage from the fire, or if, because the ice tomb itself is maybe larger than your character model, if you can just be right on the edge of the fire, and then when the tomb hits you, it's close enough to the fire that it melts the ice, or if you need to step in the fire for only one tick, because it starts to hurt pretty bad, just as it's landing, to break you out. But that's a pretty cool thing, and definitely the way that you're supposed to do it, but I guess I'm not an expert on doing it yet, or there might be an easier way to kind of describe how that should best be handled and done, but that's cool. And then the other thing was, I was gonna say that I forgot if we did both mini-bosses or not that time, but that time I noticed I was getting the frozen stacks on me, and I didn't think you got the stacks while you were tombed, at least on the final boss. I know on the mini-boss you did. Well, I don't know. Maybe that was an empowerment or something, or I'm not sure, but like, if you leave those mini-bosses up, then somehow the boss is stronger, but I'm not sure in what ways, because in all the groups I've done, I think they've all just killed both mini-bosses. Maybe that group did too, and I missed it. I mean, those mini-bosses die pretty fast, so I don't find them too memorable, at least yet. Anyhow, one final thing, I guess, is that it sounds like, with the upcoming patch or whatever, that Fellowship will be doing sort of a holiday theme. Holiday-themed skins, mounts, and all that sort of stuff coming up to earn. Some decorations and stuff like that. So that's always a little bit fun. And it also sounded like maybe they went a little bit above and beyond or something, and that maybe there's going to be some sort of, I don't know, they were making it sound like there might be some sort of like special mobs or something like that, or mini bosses that spawn in the dungeons, where if you encounter them and kill them, you get some amount of time back, and like, who knows, some sort of maybe a buff or something. I don't know. It's just sounded interesting, and I don't know. I thought it sounded fun that they well, put it this way. I think it's fun that they maybe put something that might affect how you do dungeons and might be important into the dungeons for the holidays. And depending on how it's themed and stuff like that, it might be funny. I mean, who knows? But certainly more work to kind of put it in. And I think that the game is they're gonna maybe quote unquote do a reset or something like that, or end the season in just a couple months. And it is just a game, so you don't want to take it too competitively. My one slight concern or something with something like this is just that, depending on how busted or how it's implemented into the game, if it somehow makes the dungeons like easier to do because they're not hard to kill and somehow it causes something pretty OP to happen, then it could be sort of a situation where people who are able to play during the times when it's active like push higher than they would have during other times or something. So that could be a little, I don't know. I mean, I guess people will find a way to complain about everything, but I could see that that could be some sort of complaint that some people will have. Will be, who knows, if after the holiday event, if people missed it or something like that and it was OP or something, then maybe people will talk about how, oh my gosh, I was high rank or something, but then people pushed higher because there's some OP thing that they put in the game for only like a week or two or whatever. But I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, I can't imagine that stuff is so well tested and balanced and all the broken stuff that can happen tested for when you throw in some of this holiday stuff or something into dungeons. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's some sort of an issue, but yeah, I don't know. And either way, I mean, yeah. People will make a big deal out of anything, so. Should be more, I'm sure it'll be more fun than anything else, so. We'll see how that goes if I'm playing it and everything. And other than that, I guess I hope that, if you've been watching the content and enjoying it, that you will, give it a like and a subscribe. That would help me want to continue making more content for you. And let's see, also maybe before I go, maybe I won't do it actually. Maybe I just have everything I want on my weapon other than these two. I went ahead and bought a quick little trait reroll there for the defensive traits and a 2 green items and stuff like that with my Marks of Fellowship because they are making some changes to the economy tomorrow. I think that stuff is getting more expensive, but that Marks of Fellowship are going to be sort of easier to farm. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how it will play out, but I thought I'd buy a box now just in case in terms of that. And then, not that it's probably a big deal either way. And then, yeah, I was thinking that maybe I wanted to reroll my defensive traits, but I'm not sure I do. I've seen some high-level players using this Latent Resurgence, and King of the Hill is good. Maybe I kind of... yawning after all those dungeons. Maybe I kind of have the setup I want, really, other than I would like to maybe try to roll this into Amethyst Splinters because I think that with the Amethyst Splinters, there might not be anything special that you have to do with your play. It's just kind of is what it is, and I like stuff like that. Whereas using this Visions of Grandeur, I don't know, it kind of like does stuff to my rotation, and or think about like I don't think I'm getting full value out of this basically for a ton of different reasons. One being that I think the weapon is annoying and takes some skill to actually use properly in the first place, and then using the Visions of Grandeur is just attaching even more sort of skill and cooldown management questions that I don't know the answers to in all situations to my weapon. So I'd rather just eliminate some of that complexity and play a different item. And for what it's worth, if the Visions of Grandeur is pretty close, or not the Visions of Grandeur, but if the Ashes Chronoshift Spire is like somewhat close to the next best weapon, like I used to have the I might have a Eternal version of it, but the one that just shoots icicles or something like that, like if it's relatively close, I'd probably rather just use the icicles item, to be honest with you, just because, you know, if you run some sim and it's like, you know, oh yeah, Ashes Chronoshift Spire is like the best DPS weapon by like, you know, some small-ish margin. Like, I think the other weapon is a lot harder to kind of screw up, probably, than the Chrono Shift, which, you know, can be canceled any number of ways or mismanaged in any number of ways. So you're not going to get that full value off of it, but we'll see. So yeah, I guess I don't want to reroll any traits right now, and we got a gem. Is there any gemming I can show? Did I get 3 of anything yet? I don't think so. Nope, just stuck on 2 of all this stuff. Well, actually, I have a small emerald. I guess I can upgrade that. Huh. Sure, I'll show that real quick, I guess. Just because I don't know if I've shown how the gemming or whatever works, so... At least in a video, so... Maybe I have, but... So, you go over the guy, he pops out your gem. Now I've got 3 gems. Now I go over here to this guy, the Master Craftsman, and I go, hey, here's my small emerald, and he sees that I have 3 gems. And I can do a few things. I can do a fusion. So I use one of my Aethers to combine these 3 small gems into a large gem of the same color. Or I can transmute it into another one, but this would just be 1 gem. Or I can do an imbued transmute. I mean, I think you'd always want to transmute a larger gem if you're going to do it, so... What we want to do is a fusion. We want to turn these 3 small emeralds into basically a large emerald. Sweet. And then... Well, I guess I don't really want to mess with it now, but... Then I guess I would, if I wanted to, so I don't know exactly what I'd want to do with this, and this video is already long enough, but if I wanted to, I could basically turn this large emerald that I made and get a choice of, you know, I could turn it into another, for example, maybe I should do that. I could turn it into another topaz, and then I would have 3 large topazes, and then I could combine those into a splendid topaz, right? So yeah, you can definitely convert the gems that you don't want into the gems that you do, but I'm not 100% sure how all that's working. So for now, you know, I'm fine just popping this back in where it goes. As Ardeos, I don't know how it all works out in terms of your gem power, but my understanding is that the crit gem is the strongest for Ardeos. All these tiers are a little bit different that you go through, so I'm not sure which ones are the strongest, but my assumption is that you kind of want like max of this and then some amount, if not max, of your haste, of the haste gems, which is the topazes. And then after that, if you know you have max sockets and all your gems are the maximum size and stuff like that, then there might be a little bit of space for a third or fourth gem, up to some small amount. Maybe the red one, the green one. But yeah. So yeah, that's gemming, gearing, rerolling. I think that's well covered. Showed some eternal dungeons. I don't know. I think we timed everything we did with whatever group that we pugged into and people pugged in and out of. Other than, I don't know, people needing to leave or whatever. So, yep. Doing fine. 8749. Oh, that's a little disappointing. I think at 8750 is like is another award. Oh no. 9,000. 9,000 we get a gem pouch. Then a mount, then a mount. And then we're done. So I guess trying to get to 10,000 rating for this spider mount, that's what people talk about, and some people say that after that they don't want to play anymore because there's no more rewards to get. But yeah, you know, I would like to see, I'd like to get in and see how high I can go and do a challenge and stuff like that. It just might take a while with solo queue and whatnot. So we'll see. Anyhow, thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.